Hey everyone, welcome back to another Storytime video. This story is pretty sad, I guess. I don't know, it's pretty sad to me. I don't know if it's the same for you guys. This happened a few days ago, and I'm just very upset. But the thing is, for those of you who do not know, something happened with my Yohane Nesoberi. And like I said, I'm very upset and depressed about it. And my Yohane Nesoberi somehow got bugs on her, and I found this out like right after I recorded Easter Yohane and Birthday Live Maki. And once I was done recording those scouts, I grabbed my Yohane Nesoberi, and when I grabbed her and lifted her hair up, I saw a big blob of bugs on her, and that's when I started panicking, screaming, and crying. And once I found that out, I called my sister and said, I have a problem, could you come see this? And so she's walking and saying, what's the problem? And I said, just take a look for yourself. And my sister is like, oh God, let's go to the laundry room and we'll figure something out. And so I just hold my Yohane really, really tight while trying not to cry, and we rush to the laundry room. I put Yohane on top of the washer, and my sister said, I guess we can try to vacuum the bugs up with the tube thingy on the vacuum. And so I walk over to the vacuum while I was panicking because I didn't want anything to happen to my Yohane, of course. Once I grabbed the vacuum, my sister's holding Yohane down, or at least holding the spots where the bugs were around, I guess. And right before I turned the vacuum on, I said, Yohane, I'm sorry. And we just vacuumed all the bugs off her. Or at least that's what we thought. After I was done vacuuming, we saw more on her. And I turned on the vacuum again to vacuum all the bugs off. And then we didn't see any more, so we just turned it off and called it a day. After we tried vacuuming Yohane, my sister suggested, should we cut open Yohane? And my heart just shattered. I said no, because I couldn't do it. I didn't want to tear Yohane apart. And then we're looking at my Yohane Neso just to make sure that we got everything. And more started to come. And so my sister's like, hold on, let me go get my phone, take pictures of these bugs. Maybe one of my online friends knows what kind of bugs these are. And I'm just standing in front of Yohane, panicking and almost screaming. She figured that one of her online friends could determine what these bugs were. And my sister's online friend said, if those bugs are bed bugs, they are very difficult to get rid of. And we figured out a new plan, and the second plan was to wash Yohane, which is what I did. While I was washing Yohane, my sister said, I'm going to look around the house and see if there's any more of these bugs laying around. And so I said, okay, and then I just continued washing Yohane. And once my sister was looking around the house, I just told Yohane, I'm sorry. It should have been me, not you. I love you so much, Yohane, I'm sorry. I just continued washing her, and then my sister comes down and said, there's no more bugs around the house, except I saw some feathers or fuzzy things on our little sister's blankets. You know, like stuff that like sheds all over the place, that kind of stuff. We didn't think it was the same bugs that were on Yohane. And then I finished washing Yohane, so I put her on top of the washer with the blanket, of course, to get her dry. And I noticed there were spots on her. Now, I don't know if it's insect blood, insect poo, or insect eggs that are on her. And I started panicking again. After that, I grabbed the vacuum again, used the tube thingy to try to get everything out again. And so, my sister's like, you know what? I'll just text our mom and we'll see what she says. And I just said, okay. Next thing I knew, our mom came home. She asked, what's the problem? And my sister and I explained everything. Then my mom said, did you see any of these bugs around the house besides on her? My sister and I just said, no, it's only on her and nowhere else. And my mom's like, okay, let me take a closer look. And so I stepped back because I was really scared. I just said she was way worse before I washed her, and the bugs are still on her at this point. Like, nothing worked so far. And on the torso area, my mom said, I think these are insect eggs. That is when my heart just shattered, and I was in complete shock. I couldn't do anything. I was basically frozen at this point. I just said, this can't be happening. I started panicking. I think I screamed, but at that point, I think the bugs claimed Yohane as their home or nest or habitat, whatever the correct wording is. And then my mom said, just put her in the dryer and we'll figure something out once she's done. So I stuffed Yohane in a pillowcase. Before I put her in the dryer, I said, I'm sorry. I really am. And so I put her in. Felt bad for suffocating her in that pillowcase, but it had to be done. And then I shut the dryer door, turned the dryer on, and just walked away. And then I turned around, facing the dryer, and I just said, I'm probably going to attend a funeral after this. And then I just walked to my bed and just started crying. 'Cause at that point, I did not know what to do. Now, fast forward to the point where the dryer's done doing its thing. My mom goes in the laundry room and grabs Yohane, takes her out of the pillowcase and whatnot, and takes another look at her. And that stuff that I mentioned earlier, yeah, they're still on her. And at that point, I was just crying so much. And then my mom went to the kitchen, grabbed a garbage bag, comes down the stairs and she said, "We're gonna put her in here and I'll wrap it really tightly." I said, "Wait, before you do that, can I have a moment alone with her?" And my mom said, "Yeah, go ahead." And so I walk in the laundry room. Yohane's just sitting on top of the washer, waiting for her doom to come again. And I just pat Yohane on the head, said, "I'm sorry. I love you very much. I'm sorry this happened. I'm so irresponsible. I hate myself, etc., etc." And then I started crying again. I ended up falling to the floor while I was holding her. And then, once I was done, I told my mom, "Just take her. Just take her." And my mom did. My mom put Yohane in a garbage bag and just put her outside. At that point, I'm just sobbing like it's the end of the world. And now we fast forward to 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. My mom said, "Take everything up to the living room." Everything meaning baskets that had like clothes on it in case the bugs on Yohane somehow got spread on them. So my sister, mom, and I are taking a whole bunch of clothes up to the living room, just setting them anywhere where there was a empty spot. After that, we just went to bed because my sister and I both had work early the next morning. So we went to bed. I had trouble sleeping so much because I had Yohane on my mind all night. I was scared, worried, and I ended up waking up in the middle of the night crying. And then I went back to sleep. Then I woke up a few hours later, started crying again. And then like 20 minutes or a half hour before I walked out the door to go to work, I just started crying again. I had Yohane on my mind so much. That cycle has been happening for a few days now. I'm just having a hard time not thinking about Yohane after all she's been through. And now fast forward to after work. After work, I was crying like it was the end of the world again. And then I walk in my house. My mom said, "I haven't checked on her to see if there's any bugs on her or anything. But the good news is there's no more bugs in the house. But the bad news is those bugs probably claimed Yohane as their home. And they're probably inside of her." Once again, I just started crying. And my mom said, "You might have to throw her out. But we'll wait a few days to see if the bugs will go away." And at that point, I just said, "No, God, please, no." And started crying. And that was the end of that. I didn't want to hear the rest of it. I just walked to my room and cried. And I don't know why my mom thinks they're inside of Yohane, because last I checked, there was no holes anywhere in Yohane. And fun fact, by the way, I guess, the day that Yohane arrived, I was the happiest person in the world. I cuddled her when I needed a hug. I talked to Yohane, even though she couldn't respond back. But when I needed to talk to somebody, Yohane was always there for me. And just looking over where she sits, it just feels so weird and lonely and depressing without her next to me. And I feel really terrible. I've been really irresponsible. I should have taken really good care of her, and all I did was I have her next to me, enjoying life together. I never gave her a bath ever until the day I found the bugs on her, which is pretty stupid if you ask me. And These past few days have been really difficult, because my Yohane Nesoberi makes me super happy. And when she's not around, made me like super depressed, and I didn't want to do anything besides cry. I feel like I can't take care of myself because she's not here. And I'm really upset about this, if you can tell. Also, that reminds me, I have to go outside and check up on her. I haven't checked at all ever since my mom put her in that garbage bag. Thing is, I'm really scared. They're probably still on her, which means I might have to get rid of her. And it really sucks. It really does. I don't know what I'm gonna do, guys. That's pretty much the whole story. But anyways, guys, sorry for the depressing story. I had a hard time recording this because I'm still upset by all of this. I hope my Yohane is okay. I hope the bugs aren't inside of her. Yeah, I guess I'll see you all next time in another Storytime video. Or whatever I make next. Goodbye for now.